Hello and welcome to Vision of Asia, the news you can trust and the events that move and celebrate our very own South Asian community. I'm Nidhi Kathuria coming to you from our ITV Gold studio in New Jersey. In the headlines today, big drop in areas that chose AAP in Punjab elections. New Jersey's governor blocks the growth of the best charter schools. Billions of dollars stashed by Pakistani generals in Swiss bank accounts. Actor Ranveer Singh participates in NBA All-Star Celebrity Game held in Cleveland, Ohio. Pushpa The Rise bags Film of the Year accolade at Dadasaheb Phalke International Film Festival Awards. India's stand-up comedian and Bollywood actor Veer Das to perform in New York next month. Stay with us on Vision of Asia for news in detail right after this short break. In this election, Punjab is witnessing a contest this time with Congress, Aam Aadmi Party AAP, Shiromani Akali Dal, Bahujan Samaj Party Alliance and the coalition of Bharatiya Janata Party, former Chief Minister Amarinder Singh's Punjab Lok Congress Party as key players. Election Commission announced that the voting figures in Punjab this time has turned out to be a massive 4.3% more than the tentative figures. The provisional turnout figure at the end of Sunday's voting was 65.32%. The revised turnout figure announced yesterday was 69.65%. This is the lowest figure since 2007. The gap in the tentative and final voting figures is also uncommon, as mostly the figures differ by 1%. The turnout was particularly low in areas where Arvind Kejriwal's Aam Aadmi Party claimed to have a solid support base. The constituencies which had sitting MLAs from AAP have all shown a dip in polling, ranging from 2.3% to over 9%. Amritsar West recorded the lowest voter turnout of 55.40%. New Jersey's governor blocked the growth of its best charter schools. Here is an excerpt from the report by Jay Matthews in the Washington Post. Why has New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy's chief education official told 7 high-performing public charter schools, including one of the best in the country, that they cannot expand their enrollments? It is a puzzle that exposes obscure administrative and political complications in how states deal with the tax-supported but independently run charters that educate more than 3.3 million American children. Murphy is a Democrat who says he supports charters, although his party is influenced by teachers' unions that don't like the fact that most charters are not unionized. Teachers' unions have called charters a financial drain on regular public schools. New Jersey's acting education commissioner, Angelica Allen McMillan, told the affected charters why they can't admit more students, although her reasons are difficult to understand. That school is the North Star Academy in Newark, the first of what are now 57 non-profit charters in the Uncommon Schools network in New Jersey, New York, and Massachusetts. The network specializes in raising achievements for low-income Black and Hispanic students. It works to make sure its alumni not only go to the college but also graduate. North Star serves kindergarten to 12th grade students across 14 campuses. According to the non-profit New Jersey Children's Foundation and state data, more black students at North Star scored proficient on the 2019 state tests in maths and literacy than in the entire Newark school district, even though the district has 3 times as many black children as the school does. North Star's high school classes are among the wonders of the education world. The academy is in the top 1% of U.S. high schools, ranked by participation in college-level advanced placement and international baccalaureate exams on my Challenge Index list. North Star was singled out for the complexity of its teaching and learning in Jal Mehta and Sarah Fine's 2019 book on high schools. In search of deeper learning, North Star sought permission this year to increase by at least 311 the number of students allowed to benefit from its accelerated approach. Alan McMillan said no, the second year in a row to school that has been denied the expansion. Alan McMillan admitted that the school was in the top tier for all grades in academic performances. It met the requirements for fiscal and organizational performance, so why the ban on expansion? It appears Murphy is trying to appease teachers' union that want all local school districts to have the power to approve or disapprove charters, which could kill the charter movement. North Star is appealing the decision. Following a spate of hate crimes and violence against Asian Americans, New York Governor Kathy Hochul followed through on her promise to support Asian Americans. Noting that Asian Americans have been too long forgotten, Governor Hochul on February 20th announced $10 million in awards for organizations providing services to these communities that were disproportionately impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic and hate crimes. Several Indian American groups are in the list released by the governor's office on February 20th. Among several organizations included is Adhikar for Human Rights and Social Justice, Chaya Community Development Corporation, Jihadi Sisters, Desis Rising Up and Moving Drum, Sakhi for South Asian Women, Sikh Coalition, South Asian Youth Action and others. This will be the largest investment in the Asian American community in New York state history, the press release for the governor's office said. Akhand Ramayana Path was held at New Jersey's Pramod Bhagat's residence, who is a prominent community leader. Friends and families who belong to Uttar Pradesh, India were present at the religious event to pray for peaceful elections and urging the people of India to select the right candidate as their next chief minister while chanting slogans of Jai Shri Ram. Padma Shri recipient Dr. Sudhir Parekh, chairman of Parekh Worldwide Media and ITV Gold, also attended the event and extended his support. Let's watch the highlights.
जय श्री राम। प्रभु की कृपा से सारे प्रभु के भक्त ये हमारी टीम यहाँ दिख रही है। इन्होंने सबसे पहले अमेरिका से सारे होली वाटर इकट्ठा करके भारत में अयोध्या के लिए सब लोगों ने भिजवाया था। ये वर्ल्ड पीस एंड हेल्थ फाउंडेशन की टीम है और थैंक्स टू डॉक्टर सुधीर पारिक एंड ऑल आवर वानर सेना। हम लोग का ये जो पर्पस है अखंड रामायण रखने का कि परमात्मा हमारे देश की रक्षा करना, आसुरी शक्तियों से जिस तरह से भारत त्रस्त हो रहा है और हमारे जो लीडर्स हैं जो इस काम के लिए अपना तन मन धन से काम कर रहे हैं, परमात्मा उनको दीर्घायु बनाना, जरूरत पड़े तो हमारी आयु भी उनको लगे इस देश के लिए। हम सब लोग सनातन की रक्षा हो और उन आसुरी शक्ति से हमें मुक्ति मिले और भारत जगत गुरु बने और लोगों को आध्यात्मिक शक्ति और लोगों को मार्गदर्शन मिले, सुख शांति समृद्धि का इसी कामना के साथ हम लोग की एक छोटी सी आहुति हम लोग प्रभु श्री राम के पास और हनुमान जी के पास हम लोगों ने रखा है। और हम भारत में यही इच्छा हमारी है कि प्रभु फिर से हमारे योगी बाबा आए और परमात्मा की कृपा से सारे आसुरी शक्ति जो वहाँ जो लगी है नेगेटिविटी में उनका अंत हो। जय श्री राम।
जय श्री राम। प्रभु की कृपा से हम सभी एनआरआई बंधुओं का एक छोटा सा प्रयास, एक गिलहरी की छोटी सी प्रयास, महायज्ञ में एक छोटी सी आहुति की तरह की परमात्मा हमारे देश को, हमारे मातृभूमि की रक्षा करें, आसुरी शक्ति जो लगी रहती है उसका खात्मा हो। वैसे लीडर्स, वैसे संत जो अपना पूरा तन मन धन से राष्ट्र की सेवा के परमात्मा वो दीर्घायु हो, हमारी भी उनको उम्र लगे। और हमारे बाबा जी यूपी में आए, हम लोग अयोध्या के दर्शन के लिए हम लोग आना चाहते हैं। और सबसे पहले अमेरिका से अगर हॉली वाटर जो गया 160 कंट्री से जो भेजा गया, तो पहली शुरुआत अमेरिका से ही हुई थी। और वह शुरुआत हमारे पद्मश्री डॉक्टर सुधीर पारिक, वर्ल्ड पीस एंड हेल्थ फाउंडेशन की कंप्लीट टीम और यहाँ के सभी मंदिरों से हम लोगों ने जो हॉली वाटर इकट्ठा किया था, और वो ऑलरेडी वहाँ फाउंडेशन के लिए पहुँच चुका है। और हमारे पूरे संगत की, पूरे प्रभु के भक्तों की, और ये जो अखंड रामायण का जो पाठ रखा गया, इसका एक ही पर्पस था कि प्रभु आप हमारे देश की रक्षा करें और आसुरी शक्ति को ख़त्म करें। और बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद हमारे पूरे संगत की, पूरे एनआरआई कम्युनिटी की जो हमारे साथ 24 घंटे इस यज्ञ में शामिल हुए।
ITV correspondent Pia Jyoti Katru recently spoke with Rajiv Krishna, who was recently elected as president of American Indian Chamber of Commerce. Here are the excerpts from the interview.
So the Chamber's mission is basically to connect. I mean, we have defined our mission in a very simple term. We say that our mission really is to be the hub for resources. As a business person, as a new business owner or a existing business owner, you need resources. You need either money to run your business, you need education to run your business. So we are the hub to help you with the resources. And the second is relationships. In business, all matters relationships. Now, it's about who you know, not what you know.
Right.
So making those connections with corporate America, making the connections between the vendor and the supplier is really our two key objectives for our members, is to be a hub for your resource and hub for relationships. To this end, we want to have networking events to build relationships and do educational webinars to help you grow as a business person. And that's really in a nutshell, no? That is the whole purpose of the chamber. The chamber is not in it to make money or to write laws or do any social events. It is strictly business to business. In addition to that, no, there's another element to our chamber, which is individual growth. So if you are a member of the chamber, we'd like to see you grow as an individual, whether it is public speaking or whether it is managing projects or whether it is learning how to do Excel. So these things not only help you in your business environment, but it also helps you to grow as an individual.
Absolutely.
So that is really a mission, but we are not into the social end of the business. Just be a part of the chamber. I mean, there is so much. The motto of the chamber is, none of us is as strong as all of us. That is really the motto, which means as a group, Asian Americans are going to spend $1.3 trillion in 2022. 20% of the Asian Americans are Asian Indians. So we are going to spend, I don't know how accurate these numbers are, but Nielsen says that so we have we are a mainstream community. We are no longer a minority in a lot of ways. So if we can come together, at least as a business, we can benefit a lot for our businesses. We can benefit a lot as entrepreneurs. We can help each other. So my appeal to our membership really is, or to the general community out there, is to let's get on this bandwagon and let's see where we can take it to. I mean, that's really we've been around 25 years, so it doesn't happen by accident. There has been some value in the chamber for the last 25 years.
Absolutely.
And the next 25 years need to be totally different than the last 25. That's really my goal. And my appeal to the community.
Saira Malik, a Pakistan-American woman who recently was appointed to the post of Chief Investment Officer in Nuveen, a top U.S. firm managing $1.2 trillion in equities, fixed income, real estate, among others, headquartered in Chicago, Illinois. Daughter of Pakistani immigrant parents, Malik drives the weekly market and investment insights and delivers client asset allocation views from across the firm's investment teams. A known face in the U.S. financial world, she appears regularly on CNBC, Bloomberg, and Fox Business. Kiplinger's and Barron's ranked her among the top 100 most influential women in the U.S. finance. In the U.S., she grew up in Stockton, California, and attended Lincoln High School there. Her meteoric rise to the position of the CIO at Nuveen, however, was not so smooth. After earning her investment banker license at the age of 19, she had been rejected by almost every firm she applied for jobs at. Later, she took a master's course in finance, and only then she was hired by a large firm. Her grandmother, she informed, was among the first-class women who were admitted to medical schools in India, earning MD in 1934. Her diploma hangs on a wall in my house. It wasn't written for a woman. It was written for a man, she said, emphasizing. On it, administrators crossed out the pre-printed words him and his and replaced them with handwritten her and hers. To this day, she said, that diploma inspires the women in my family. Sachin Tendulkar on Monday congratulated 16-year-old Indian Grandmaster R. Praggnanandhaa for defeating world champion Magnus Carlsen in the 8th round of the Air Things Masters, an online rapid chess competition. Tendulkar said Praggnanandhaa has made India proud and wished him a successful chess career ahead. It was Praggnanandhaa's first win in any form of chess against the Norwegian and came on the back of having lost 3 games in a row. Carlsen finished down in 5th, up from 11th on the leaderboard on Sunday. A leak of data from a leading Swiss bank has revealed information about 600 accounts linked to 1,400 Pakistani citizens, media reports said on Sunday. Account holders include several key politicians and generals, including the ex-ISI chief, General Akhtar Abdur Rahman Khan, according to data leaked from Credit Suisse, an investment banking firm registered in Switzerland. A report published in the New York Times said Khan helped funnel billions of dollars in cash and other aid from the United States and other countries to the Mujahideen in Afghanistan to support their fight against the Soviet Union. The Saudi Arabian and US funding for Mujahideen fighters battling Russia's presence in Afghanistan went to the American Central Intelligence Agency's CIA Swiss bank account, the Dawn newspaper reported, citing an organized crime and corruption reporting report. The end recipient in the process was Pakistan's Inter-Service Intelligence Group ISI at the time, led by Akhtar, the publication quoting the report said. Earlier in January, Pakistan ranked 140th out of 180 on Corruption Perception Index CPI 2021 by Transparency International, losing 16 spots over the previous year. Actor Ranveer Singh made an appearance at the National Basketball Association's NBA All-Star Celebrity Game. The game was held in Cleveland, Ohio, and saw Ranveer Singh brushing shoulders with prominent names from the world of sports and entertainment. The actor is the current ambassador for NBA India and was seen alongside celebrities such as Machine Gun Kelly, Matt James, Jimmy Allen in the game over the weekend. He also got the chance to meet several greats of the game like ace basketball player LeBron James. In an image shared by the actor on Instagram, the actor is seen bumping fists with the Los Angeles Lakers player. In the caption, Ranveer Singh wrote, "The King and I." What a precious moment, tagging the player.
To be very honest, I was, and I still am, extremely touched by all these people coming out. They've come out from different parts of the country. They were telling me, I drove 6 hours, I drove 8 hours, I drove 16 hours in the snow, 18 hours in the snow, and it's extremely, extremely heartening, extremely humbling, and extremely touching. I'm really and truly touched that so many people came out to show me some love and support and encouragement. It means the world to me.
Alex Toussaint picked off by Tamberi, and we collision on the court.
Look, you come.
You hear the crowd? That's for Ranveer Singh. He has 38.4 million followers on Instagram. He has fans here. It was like rock star status.
It was crazy. I don't think I haven't seen anything like that.
As India's biggest stand-up comedian and Bollywood star, Veer Das has now crossed over to become a global comedy sensation, filling an international vacancy for an authentic Indian perspective and being hailed by Variety magazine as a top 10 comic to watch. Veer will next be seen in the Judd Apatow film for Netflix. Veer was the first comedian from India to have a stand-up special on Netflix, which resulted in a multi-special deal with the platform for them to be the exclusive distributor for his stand-up. Since then, Veer has written and produced 4 Netflix specials in 5 years. Through his various tours, he has sold over 500,000 tickets as a stand-up and became the biggest English-speaking comedian in India. He has cemented himself as one of the country's top stand-ups, actors, writers, musicians, and festival producers, and is now making a global impact. Veer Das will be performing in New York on Sunday, March 13th.
I come from an India where old leaders will not stop talking about their dead fathers and young leaders will not stop following their living mothers. I come from an India that has the largest working population under 30 on the planet but still listens to 75-year-old leaders with 150-year-old ideas. I come from an India where every time we get information, we are always available to care for the PM, but we can't seem to get any information on PM Cares. I come from an India where we kicked out the British, but yet we call the government the ruling party. I come from an India where women wear saris and sneakers and yet have to take advice from old men who have never worn a sari and will never get to take one off in their entire lives. I come from an India where our music is bahut hard, but our sentiments are bahut soft. I come from an India where people sleep outside on the road outside the club, but man, 20 times a year the road is the club. I come from an India where we take pride in being vegetarians and yet run over the farmers who grow our vegetables.
And that's a wrap on Vision of Asia tonight. Send us your suggestions and community news that you would like us to cover for our print and television coverage at events@itvgold.com. Follow us on our Facebook handle at ITVGold, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and pick up a free copy of Desi Talk if you're in the Tri-State or in the Chicago area for community news, entertainment, and events in US and India. You can also read the News India Times newspaper online at www.newsindiatimes.com or subscribe to the hard copy by calling 212-675-7515. Thank you and happy Monday.